Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. Today I'm going to just call it Make Ahead Christmas Breakfast, because y'all know what it's like on Christmas morning, and most people have sweet rolls or something. It's just very hard to make breakfast, especially for a large crowd, unless you're just in the kitchen all morning. So this works for a large crowd, well, 10 to 12 people for sure. And if you doubled it, you could make it for up to 24 people. I don't know if y'all would have that many in your home on Christmas morning, but some people do. Anyway, you can make it ahead like the day before and just put it in the refrigerator, then just put it in the oven the next morning, cut it in little squares for people, and it works great. Now, I serve this with either the cinnamon rolls or the orange rolls, or wait, in the case of my two grandsons that were just here, how about an orange and a cinnamon roll? Yeah, that's the way that worked. All right, so we're ready to get started. Now, it's going to seem like a lot of ingredients, but remember, you're making for a crowd here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got my skillet heating up, and I've saved back some of my bacon grease, and I'm going to put about 3 tablespoons of bacon grease in my skillet. Now, I've already peeled and cut up my potatoes, because this is going to be, the bottom crust is going to be hash browns. This is similar to another recipe I did using the sausage links. Now, I think the consensus was on the 2 different types of breakfast casserole that they liked the one with the bacon probably the best. Alright, so we've got our skillet heating up. Now I've got about 5 cups of, I'll just show you this, hash brown potatoes. Let me loosen that up there. And I went ahead and chopped those up in my Vidalia Chop Wizard that Kim Belcher sent me this, and I have treasured it. I use it all the time because it will make the potato little pieces about the same size. Now, I use red potatoes because they just hold up better when you cook them, but you could use any kind. Alright, so this is about 5 cups of potatoes. They have turned a little bit since I peeled them a while ago, so I'll be ready for the video, but that's okay, because we're going to brown these. Now I'm just turning them to get some of that bacon grease coated on all of them. And I've got my burner up on medium-high because I want to get some brown color on these and have them really about 3/4 of the way cooked, or maybe a little more. Alright, so I'm turning my burner up a little bit more. Now, when these get ready, we'll be back and I'll show you how to do the rest of this recipe. Now, I previously fried out bacon. I did my bacon in the oven. That's why you see it stays long and nice like that. So a pound of bacon, or really, I think this was probably 12 ounces. And I also just fried out a pound of just mild sausage, and I didn't leave it in patties or anything because I just kind of mashed it into the skillet because it's going to be sort of crumbled anyway. And the other thing, I went ahead and shredded a medium onion, and this is one of those purple onions just because that's what I've got. Alright, let me show you the other ingredients we're going to use. Hold on just a second. I'm going to use 16 ounces of mild cheddar cheese, and that's going to go in the filling, and I'm going to save back a little bit for the top. And we had to get a large container of this. This is 24 ounces, but you only need 16 ounces for this recipe, so I'm only going to use part of this little container of cottage cheese. Now, I think this is a small curd. That's probably what you want. Let me let you see that. Alright, and then, of course, you'll need 10 large eggs. So we're going to go ahead and get these potatoes fried out, and we'll be ready to combine all this and make the casserole. So we'll be back. Okay, we're back, and the hash browns are, for the most part, done. We've got a little color in them. Let you see them. Alright, I'm going to dump those into, this is actually a 9 by, I can never remember, 13 and a half Pyrex baking dish. So I'm going to put these potatoes, they're still hot. So I'm going to put those in the bottom, and they're sort of like the crust. Now I did have to add a little more bacon grease to these potatoes, because these white potatoes I think have more moisture in them than like the Idaho baking type potatoes, but these hold up really well when you freeze them or, you know, when you reheat them. All right, so I'm just going to mash those potatoes down a little bit in the bottom of this pan. Oh wait, you couldn't see, could you? All right, there you go. Sorry. All right. All right, so now this is really our crust. Now, before I do my eggs, this is one medium shredded onion. And you shred it because you don't want to run into any big clumps, you know, when you're eating it, because it takes the onions a little longer to cook unless they're shredded. So I'm just going to spread those out over top of the potatoes. And these potatoes will get a little more brown on the bottom once they're cooked in the oven. Now put just a little bit of salt in the potatoes, because remember the bacon grease is pretty salty, and the cheese is going to be salty, and certainly the sausage will be. All right. So there's the onions spread on top of the potatoes. So now we're ready to get to the eggs. Now I've got 10 large eggs here. Let me wipe my hand off from the onion. And I'm going to beat these up just a little bit. And I am going to add just a touch of salt to them. Not much. Not as much as you would if you were making like just scrambled eggs. So I'm going to beat those up with the whisk. That's probably good enough. Now, of this 24-ounce carton of cottage cheese, I'm going to use 3/4 of the carton, or 16 ounces. So let me get a clean spoon for that. So about 3/4 of that carton, or 16 ounces, right into your eggs. Just mix that up with your eggs. Okay, that's probably good enough right there. All right, now we're going to also add about 3/4 of this pack of 16 ounces of mild shredded cheese, cheddar cheese. So just dump that in. And save back the rest to put on the top of the casserole. I'm ready to take my whisk out now. Just use a spatula. All right. Now I really actually cut my bacon up with my scissors because I want there to be chunks of bacon. So that goes right in with the eggs and the cheese mixture. And I also crumbled up my sausage, so I've got little bite-sized, see, little bite-sized pieces. Put that right in. All right. Now you want to just mix that all up. Cheese, bacon, sausage, all of it. Now this is going to easily serve 10 to 12 people. Now if you've got, you know, children eating breakfast, they really can't usually eat a big chunk of this. So if you've got several children to feed, younger children, you could probably serve up to 14 people with this. It's very rich and loaded with protein. And again, you can definitely fix this the day before. It is just as good warmed up. In fact, it might even be a little better warmed up than it is the first day you fix it. All right, so we've got all this. Now we're going to dump it right over our potatoes and onions. just going to spread that out right over top of those hash brown potatoes and the onions. All right, we are about through with this, and it is a lot of trouble, but boy, you'll be glad you made it on Christmas morning, because that way you don't have to be in the kitchen. You can, be where everybody else is opening presents. Make sure I got all that out of there. All right, so now we're ready to spread the rest of this 16-ounce bag of cheddar cheese right over the top of it. And what this cheese on the top does is kind of protects the eggs really while they're cooking. And also what I think it does is if you make it ahead, it causes it to stay really fresh with that cheese topping. So it kind of seals it off. All right, we're ready to put this in the oven. Let me see if I can give you a close-up of that. Yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like. All right, we're going to bake this in the oven right on the middle rack for 30 to 45 minutes. And all you have to do to find out when it's done, just stick a toothpick in it, see if it comes out clean, because all you're really cooking are the eggs. That's really the main thing you're cooking. So 30 to 45 minutes at 350 degrees or to do it. All right, when this gets done and it's cooled a little bit, we'll be back and show you what it looks like. Okay, our casserole is done. It actually cooked for 30 minutes in my oven, and I wanted to show you this underneath. Can you see that? See the potatoes have gotten a little more brown? See, right under there? I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, the potatoes have gotten good and brown. The cheese is slightly browned on top. And we have got to let this cool, and then I'll slice it up and show you what it looks like. We'll be back in just probably 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, I have sliced up our casserole so I can give you a closer look. You can see the hash browns on the bottom, sausage, eggs, and then the cheese on top. And I'm just serving that with that's a dinner roll that was split in half, and I just toasted it with a little butter on top. Of course, we're having our iced tea because we're having this for lunch. And there's my piece. You can see the hash browns on the bottom. Now I wanted to show you this because you can see that this would easily feed 10 to 12 people. Now I have never frozen this. I always have made it with company, and we always pretty much ate the whole thing. But I am going to try to freeze it, in individual pieces, and we'll see how it does. But anyway, so let's go back over here to give you a close-up of what that looks like. And again, you can definitely fix this the day before and then just, put it in the oven and warm it up for breakfast. All right, we will see y'all next time.